Hello guys, Lizzie Wilson from Positive Performance and Mindset Coach Academy, and this is take 2. Sorry for those of you that were watching and got cut off. That's technology for you, but I'm going to be talking about 5 ways that you can implement mental training into your existing practices, even if you don't have the time, money, or expertise. And it's based on this free guide, and you can get this by commenting below, and we'll send it to you or send you the link to get it for yourself. And really the reason that we developed this guide and these exercises, let me back up. So the reason that mind-body exercises at Positive Performance are a thing is because there are 2 ways really to do mental training, and they don't exist in isolation, and you don't have to choose one or the other. In fact, you should be doing both. So the first way is being able to isolate mental training as a skill work. So this is, in workshops, after practice, on the sideline, when athletes are working and coaches are working on, positive self-talk, breathing exercises, meditation, positive affirmations, visualization. I might have said that already. Worksheets, pre-competition routines, any of that stuff that they're working on, without doing a skill at the same time, right? And this is important because when you combine it with a skill, it's just different. It's a different experience, and that's important. So you should be doing both. But when you're doing it in isolation, it's the same way that we take certain skill work, and we work on layups or we work on dribbling drills. It is important to isolate skills and work on them. It's the same reason, professional athletes still do a lot of the basic skill work. But the goal is for then athletes to be able to put it into action, right? That's when the rubber meets the road, and they're able to do it in practice, in competition, when they're really tested. And a good example of this is the Braver. So you want your athletes to be able to do Braver in isolation as far as a pre-practice routine. Do their breathing, do their affirmations, do their positive self-talk, do their reset word. But then you want them to be able to take that and use it in competition, in practice, when they're getting frustrated, they make a mistake, or they just need to reset. And so that's an example of something that is isolated as a mental training skill and then put into action, into practice. But another reason that we developed these exercises is because a lot of coaches were telling us that they didn't really have a lot of time. And so they felt like, I don't have time to go do a workshop, or maybe you don't even have space to do a sit down workshop on mental training. So how can you get them in your existing practices? And these are great exercises because, again, you're teaching athletes how to do mental training in a way that's very familiar to them. And it's connecting it to their skill work or connecting it to their conditioning in a way that, really is making a lot of sense for them, and making it really actionable so that they can see that connection between their mind and their body. So I'm going to go over the 5 different ways that you can do mental training within your existing practices. And keep in mind that you can alter these to meet your specific sports, kind of conditioning or kind of drills. So these are just suggestions on sort of general skills or physical training that you can do. But the 5 different ways are discomfort. So teaching your athletes to deal with discomfort, especially discomfort of the physical variety, right? Of being able to push through pain. Empowerment, process reward, and that is being able to link up their physical work with a potential reward of winning and being in better shape and that sort of thing. Concentration and awareness. Okay, so I'm going to go over those 5: discomfort, empowerment, process reward, concentration, and awareness. So let me go over discomfort first. So we advocate just doing a simple exercise, but you can do this again with anything, especially in the weight room or any kind of conditioning. So the first one we recommend is just a simple plank, because that's applicable to a lot of different sports, but you can customize it to your different sport. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your athletes all get in a plank position. And the goal of this is, a lot of times athletes aren't really taught to deal with physical discomfort, as in the pain of pushing past physical barriers. And some of you as coaches and some of your athletes may do this already naturally. But for those of them that don't, you need to teach them. And typically, if they don't do this naturally, what they do is they feel pain and they think, because this is how our brains work. We think, oh crap, this is bad, right? Like, I need to get away from this pain. And this is when people quit, or, they find reasons to stop, or they get injured, or, they physically give up, right? And so we teach them how to move towards discomfort. And with this exercise, when they're in the plank, you actually tell them to focus on a single spot and go deeper into the discomfort. And this is going to be counterintuitive to a lot of them, but just the act of moving towards the pain and embracing it helps make it easier. And this is this is going to be something that's very foreign to a lot of your athletes. Some of them may be doing this naturally, maybe you do this naturally, but giving them a tool in that moment instead of just suck it up, keep going. A lot of times we have these sort of like motivational phrases, but they don't actually give your athletes anything concrete to do in that moment. So you actually repeat this little mantra that says, go towards the pain. Hey, Eric, thanks. I'm looking forward to the webinar too. Yeah, I'll put the link below for anybody that wants to join us. So essentially what you say as a coach is when they're doing the plank, you say, go deeper into that spot. You have them focus on a spot. Go deeper into that spot. Focus harder and feel your eyes soften as the rest of the room disappears. Breathe in deeply and breathe out slowly. So that's giving them a lot of different things. It's giving them a single point to focus on. It's telling them to go deeper towards the discomfort. And it's also teaching them and reminding them to breathe. Okay, so this is so simple and it's so powerful. I'm really interested in how this works for you guys. Okay, the second exercise is empowerment. This is a really fun one and it's a little bit crazy, but I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with this and it's gonna make your athletes totally uncomfortable, which is totally the point. And basically the point is you guys wanna accomplish great things, right? But sometimes we keep a secret, right? And we want these big goals, but we don't really want to step into it because that's scary and we don't really want to tell other people. And we don't really want to be the one that says, I'm going to win a championship and I'm going to be this and I'm powerful. And in this exercise, that's the whole point. And it's fun because athletes are going to be doing it as a team. But it's a little bit embarrassing because we really want this to happen among other people. So like in a gym where there's other people or in a weight room where there's other athletes. It doesn't have to be, but that kind of ups the ante and ups the sort of nerves and like nervous excitement. So in this sense, we have them do burpees, but you can have any exercise, okay? So essentially what they do is they do a burpee, and after every burpee, the athletes yell out, my mind is incredibly powerful. Is that what I say? Yeah, my mind is incredibly powerful. You can have them do another statement if you want. It doesn't really matter what the statement is. It just has to be powerful and confident and loud. Okay, so your athletes are going to giggle and they're going to think, oh, what are we doing this for? But just the act of doing something that is bold, I mean, they would never do this before, right? They would never actually do something like this. They're going to yell out something powerful at the top of their lungs, ideally in front of people, and I can promise you they're going to feel different after this because they would not do this. This is giving their brain the message that they are powerful. And I don't care who sees it. I am going to step into this next level. And so it's really empowering. Okay. And for those of you that are on, say hi. I see some people getting on. I just tried a new system, so this should be in all the other groups, the Facebook Live. Okay. The next exercise is exercise number 3. And this is a really great one because as a coach, this is something I've noticed a lot. You expect that when you have your athletes, do a suicide, or you have them do, a 1.5 mile running test, or you have them do whatever, a lot of people have tests or they have sprint drills. And, as soon as you say, okay, guys, we're going to do a suicide, you hear that collective groan. And the reason that you hear the groan is because your athletes are not naturally connecting this hard work and this discomfort with a potential reward in the future. You think that they are. You think, well, in my mind, you're thinking, well, the reason that we're going to do these conditioning drills, the reason that we're going to be doing these sprints is because, I often use basketball analogies, but the reason that we're doing this is so that we can beat, University of Iowa, and we can be in better shape than them in the fourth quarter. That's the mindset that you have. But your athletes, if they had made that connection, why are they groaning? Why aren't they thinking, yeah, coach, let's do 2 suicides because I want to forget fourth quarter. What if we go into overtime? I want to be in better shape than so-and-so on, University of Iowa. And so if you're getting that collective pushback or those collective groans from your athletes, it's because they're not linking up the hard work, the conditioning with a potential reward. Now that the reward's not guaranteed, of course, but being in better shape is. And so you think they're making that connection and they're not. And instead, you're setting up a situation where your athletes are doing the sprints only because you tell them to. And that's not necessary, right? And so from a mental standpoint, let's get them in the position where they understand that the reason that they're doing that is not for you. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it for themselves, right? So that they can be in better shape and they can have more fun playing because they're in better shape. So this is a really, really powerful one. So whatever your conditioning is, we say sprints here, but whatever it is for your sport, after every sprint or every increment of the sprint or whatever, however you want to break it up, you actually have your athletes stop and visualize. And you want to start probably with the upperclassmen, but you want to have them describe the reason that they're doing that sprint. So they might say something like, you know, if it was my senior year in high school, and I'd say, okay, well, the reason that we just did the mile and a half is because, you know, when we go to the NCAA tournament and we're playing against, you know, Notre Dame, that in the fourth quarter, I can see us, you know, when it's tied and we're down by 1 and we're in so much better shape than them because we're doing these Sweet 16s or whatever, right? And so everybody gets to choose a reason. And you don't have to do every athlete every single time, but just getting everybody in the mode of understanding we're doing this sprint or these conditionings for this reason. It's not because the coach told us to. It's not a punishment. That's the other thing, right? Sprints, conditioning. We are trained from a very young age that is a punishment. And that is so stupid. That is like one of my pet peeves. I'll talk about that in another video because I got some things to say about that. It doesn't mean that you don't have to make your athletes do it because they've been trained that way. But anyway, this process reward drill is going to be really important. Okay, exercise 4. We got to see a ton of people that just came on. Guys, say hi below because I can't see who's on unless you comment. Eric, thank you for commenting. And also, if you want this mind-body exercise, comment below. And I'll put the link to get it down below. Okay. Concentration, exercise number 4. So, excuse me. So this is again about pain and discomfort and being able to focus during that time. So we have them do wall sits. Hi, Amanda. Yes, I will put the link below on how to get this exercise guide. Okay, so we have them do wall sits. Again, you can choose whatever you want that's relevant for your sport, but that's a pretty general one. And then you go around the room while they're in the wall sit, okay? Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever that was. While they're in the wall sit, and they get to say a positive affirmation during those wall sits, okay? So some examples of everybody's sitting, and they're doing the wall sit, and, the legs start shaking, and they're starting to get really uncomfortable, okay? So instead of just saying, guys, come on, let's keep, get lower, or don't give up, or whatever you want to say, you actually have them go around and they say something positive. So someone might say, my legs feel like steel. I am stronger than I even realized. We do this wall sit so that we are ready to beat University of whatever. Okay, so you can see that everybody gets to choose something positive to say in that moment. And these things are so simple, but this is the difference between them, again, sitting there and being like, God damn, our coach is making us do this. How much longer do we have? And we're punished. And why do we have to do this? And my legs hurt. And instead, we're putting a positive spin on it. And you're in a sense, forcing them to think of the positive in that moment. And again, when we have the whole group doing it, it is so powerful. It is so powerful to have my teammate next to me saying, my legs feel like steel. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, maybe my legs are shaking, but you know what? I'm thinking about steel right now. And it is mind over matter in that moment. And again, these are some things that you might be doing naturally or picked up yourself. You may do this already when you're lifting weights or what have you. A lot of coaches do some of this stuff naturally, but they don't know that their athletes aren't doing it. So that's another powerful one. Okay, exercise number 5 is body awareness. And I have to tell you, there's a typo on this page. Hopefully by the time you get this, it's fixed. But it says the exercise is plank. There's actually no exercise. This is just for them to lay down or lie down. Okay, so there is a typo on this, and we'll get it changed, but just so you know. So on body awareness, body exercise number 5, it says plank, but really you're gonna have them lay down. And this is actually more of a isolated, but it's after a really hard workout. And you're gonna prepare your athletes by telling them, okay, we're gonna have a really hard workout, but at the end, we're gonna do this body work. And there's a script in the same way that those of you that have done the Braver, we break it down so you actually have a script just to read. So that makes it really easy. And this is again where you're gonna have to step into being a mental training expert, even if you don't feel like it. You're gonna have to trust the script and trust that what you are doing is good, okay? It doesn't mean, when every time I've done a guided visualization, and we're actually in the Mindset Coach Academy right now, we're working on, everybody's getting their performance visualization specialist certification, and we're working through, everybody hates their voice. And everybody thinks, oh, I'm not reading it right, or I'm not saying it right. And you have to remember that doing something is better than doing nothing. So this is where, you're asking your athletes to grow. This is where you're going to grow into it as well. And I can tell you that even now, after doing guided visualizations for over 12 years, I still cringe when I hear my voice on a recording. And I think there's actually some science behind that, but it doesn't matter. So get over yourself. Who cares? You'll do fine. It's a script to read. It's all here for you. And have a growth mentality about it. You're going to get better at this, just like your athletes are going to get better at this. And your belief about how good you are at this needs to be removed from the equation, because your athletes will pick up on you thinking, oh, I don't know if I'm good at this. Who cares? It does not matter. You are going to do fine. You just read the script, okay? So you have them lay down, and you basically take them through a body awareness relaxation exercise. And this is super powerful because many athletes have learned through sports that they need to be ramped up all the time. And a lot of coaches tell me now with, phones and social media and all this stuff, athletes really don't have they don't know, and they don't have a lot of time to clear themselves, right? They are just, like a lot of us, they're go, go, go all the time. And so they are taught to ramp up, but they're not taught to ramp down. And so this body awareness exercise is really more than just a relaxation exercise. This actually helps them train their mind to be able to let go, which is a super powerful tool in life, but certainly in sports as well, and allows them to just have that time. And I guarantee that your athletes are going to love this. Literally every time I do any kind of relaxation exercise with athletes, especially after a really hard workout, because their body, let's say it's in the weight room, and your muscles are all just pumping with blood, and then you just lay and you just feel your body and bring your awareness to your body, and just in that feeling, it's such a powerful exercise. And so I really want you to do the 5th one. It takes a little bit more work from you because you are going to be guiding them through this visualization, but it's really a great exercise. So if you have any questions about mind body exercise, again, comment below if you want your free copy. There's 5 different exercises, and you can literally take this, print it off, and start implementing these today in practice. They're that easy. We really break it down for you, so it's really simple. What else did I want to say? With this, we are launching our Coach's Toolbox, the complete Coach's Toolbox to mental training. And we are doing a webinar next week where I am breaking down exactly how coaches can use our toolbox to implement mental training within their existing practices and within their existing program. Because one of the things we found is a lot of coaches want to do mental training. They don't know where to start. They're overwhelmed. Yes, thank you for the thumbs up. They're overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. They have doubts about their own ability because they weren't trained in this, and they wonder why they weren't trained when it's such a big part of their coaching right now. They're worried about their athletes' buy-in, and they don't feel like they have any money to spend on this. So this toolbox, the toolbox is a paid program, but the webinar is free. Nathan, I'll put you the link below. Thank you. The webinar is free, but it's really for people that are interested in taking their coaching to the next level. And then we train you with a complete toolbox on mental training, and then you get to take it to your athletes. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, we are so excited about this program because this is what it does. It allows you as a coach for a very reasonable investment to be able to get your coaching to the next level. And you guys know that your coaching, anybody's coaching, so much of it is the mental game. And so imagine being able to feel confident in that aspect of your coaching. We give you all the tools. You get lifetime access to all the tools that we have developed over the past 12 years. And we give it to you in a really simple, easy to use. Yes, Eric, me too. The toolbox is, I cannot tell you how excited I am about this. Chantel's putting the final touches on the user guide, which is the thing that's really going to take, we're not just throwing courses over the wall to you. We are giving you an implementation system, which is really the hardest part. I will say that there's a lot of stuff you can go get. You can watch this video, you can go get tons of stuff for free, right? I mean, there's the World Wide Web, if you haven't heard. There are tons of free things out there, but nobody knows how to actually implement them. And guess what? We've been doing that for 12 years. So we know what works and we know what doesn't. And we give you a complete guide so that you don't just have these courses that you don't know what to do with, and you don't know how to start and all that stuff. You don't know where things are. You don't know what things to solve. We give you a complete toolbox with a complete user guide so that you can step by step take yourself through these exercises, get yourself to another coaching level, and then take it to your athletes so that you can have the impact that you want and deserve. And that's really what we're all about here. So thanks for the thumbs up. We're super pumped about it because it's going to help you coach better. And then guess what? You are going to maximize your impact with your athletes. And that's really our goal here, is to bring mental training to everybody that wants it. And there's a lot of people that want it, and there's a lot of people that need it. And you are the perfect person to take it to them. Jonathan, hi. All right, guys. Again, comment below if you want this free guide. Mind body exercises. You can implement it. Thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. Oh, and the other thing is, tag a friend below. If you know a coaching colleague that would be interested in this, just tag them below so that they can get their copy too. Okay, hi Jonathan. All right, guys, everybody have a great day. Mwah.